Hello everyone, welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be finishing off the Accept Pokemon widget, and hopefully if we have enough time we'll be setting up some creatures to go alongside that. I am going to be back in our roll final stats inside the Accept Pokemon widget. If we pull off from our Pokemon final stats on the set member, we can do a make F Pokemon final stats, and this will be important. I'm going to do the little bit code up here first, to be honest, because it'll be far easier. This is a very quick bit of the code, and that is setting our current max XP. So all we need to do is times this, or a better way to do it is this way, multiply. There we go. We multiply this by 4. This is the fast XP way of doing it. There's different ones for different Pokemon, but I like this one better. And we times that again by our current level, not by 4. And then we do that again, like so. If I put another reroute node in there, it will actually look a bit better. There we go. And then we divide by 5. And then we just need to convert this pin. So right click on the pin and get a single float precision. And then we can plug that directly into the max XP. That should be enough to get yourself going with all of the lovely gaining XP, etc. This looks wonky in my opinion. That's a little bit better. That's better. There we go. Straighter. Right. Okay. So the base stats come directly from this. So you can literally plug this directly into the base stats here, and that should work fine for getting your base stats. And that will... Oh, why is it not straight? What is going on here? That's the one thing that bugs me. Right, okay. Apologies. I'm getting irate over some unstraight lines. Okay, so the last thing we need to work out now is the final stats. So the base stats just feed straight into here. That's your base stats covered. So if you decide to use things like accuracy feathers and things like that, or is it speed feathers, whatever it is, attack feathers, that increase your base stat by 1, you can automatically just update your base stats, which is great. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to be looking at a math expression node. So it's called a math expression node. There it is. And we can literally write some maths into this. So I'm just going to write it out. So HP base stat, it's times 2 plus our HP in a bracket, plus current level, then divided by 100. Sorry, no, that is right. Sorry, my apologies. And then plus current level, close that down, and then plus 10 for HP. And then 1, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brackets to add. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click enter. You should have something that looks a little bit like this. And this is what the health one is. The other one is different. So all the other stats are different. So we take our base stats, plug that into base stats. We take our HP IV, plug that into there. Now, I don't want to do that. I want to convert this HP on the left-hand side here, convert it to an integer. And I want to do the same for my current level. Convert that to an integer. And those should plug straight in then. There we go. I want to round this figure so that we get a whole number. And then I will have to use a converter for this, the second half. And that will plug into both my HP and my HP max. I might need to move this back a little bit just to get the... There we go. That looks a bit better. Now, I need to set up another math expression for the other stuff. And this will be stat base times 2 plus IV times current level divided by 100 and plus, we plus in that current level again. And for this one, we actually add 5. For all the other stats, we add 5, but HP, we add 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do another 5 at the end there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we should have something that looks a little bit like that. Convert the IVs to integers and the CL to integers again. We plug in the attack base stat and then attack IV and the current level. And then we can copy and paste this down for this one and literally just do the same thing and plug that into attack and attack max. Now we can copy this down for every single stat. I like to try and keep them quite bunched up because they do take up a lot of room. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then accuracy and evasiveness just go straight in. So it's only the special attack, special defense, and speed that need to be done as well. So special attack, special defense, and speed. Add in the I missed that defense. That's what I'm doing wrong. Sorry. We do need one more. Copy and paste and plug that in. Try and keep everything neat because this can be quite messy, and you don't want to be kind of confused by everything once you've done it. You want to be able to kind of see a clear picture of what's kind of happening. So yeah, just be aware of that. Pull that down a bit so you can kind of see what's going where a little bit better. If you want to make a bit more space, go for it. I highly advise doing that. It's probably a good idea. Plug all of the other things in as well, and make sure your current level is also set up as well. The last but not least, put in the accuracy into accuracy and accuracy max, and put the evasiveness and evasiveness into the evasive max as well. You'll notice we don't need to do anything with the moveset or the TM moves at this point in time, but that will come. Make a little bit more space if you need to, and compile, and don't forget to save because this is a pain to set up and you really don't want to mess it up. So make yourself a little bit more space if you need it. Tidy things up as you please. I try to avoid spaghetti code because it does look messy, but you will not be able to avoid it here. This is just kind of something you will have to do, unfortunately. There's no neating this up, if in my opinion, but that should be your roll final stats done anyway. We're going to move on to the set moves next, and we need to what we need to do is get data table row names, and that's going to be of our Pokemon move data table, and we're going to do a for each loop, and we need to, this is where obviously setting up the Ringmon, the Pokemon will come in hand, but we'll get there. We will get there. Break that information, and the only things we're going to need from this is the current level. So you can close all this down, current level, and the base stats that we've just set for this Pokemon. Oh, did I not do current level? I unticked it. There we go. So we can break this, and the only thing we need from this is that level up moves. So untick everything else, so you're left with something that looks a bit like this. And what we're doing is we need to find the levels that we need to give to our Pokemon. So what we're going to do from this is we're going to do a find, and the name is going to be this one. So it's looking for this name. So it's looking through this to find this name from here. And then we need to do a branch and check to see that. Then we need to check if our current level matches what's on that list. Is it equal to or less or equal than what's on here, what is found? And if that's true, we can move forward again. And if that comes back true, what we need to do is we need to create a new variable called possible moves, and that can be type integer. And what we and it needs to be an array. I do apologize. It needs to be an array. So what we need to do is come down here to the variable type and change it to an array. Grab that, and we're going to add that to our possible moves. There we go. And if you get this find, we can plug that in here, and it just about sits neatly. So that's how it should be. Once we've been through that list and we found that, we need to get this again, and we need to get the keys, and we can plug this completed into that, and it should look something like this. We shouldn't need the current level anymore, so you can untick that if you choose and have it looking a little bit neater like that. And now it's all about finding the moves. So we need to do a for each loop. Not that one. We need a for loop. Just a bog standard for loop. There we go. And we're looking for four numbers basically. So if they can know 6 moves out of those, we only want to know 4 of them. So we then do a branch on that for loop, and we need to do a get like so as well. So that's how that should kind of plan out. We need to get our possible moves. We need to get the length. We also need to get the last index, like so. And we need to see if this is greater than 0, which it should be. If we've made it this far, it should be greater than 0. And then the last index goes into that get, because we want to make sure it knows if it's like level 20 and there's like 20 possible moves. We don't want it to know tackle. We want it to know one of its earlier moves. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our re-get this. No, we're not. Sorry, we're going to do a get data table row, and it's going to be that name. That's why that name is important. And then we're going to put the Pokemon move data table in there. Okay, so from that we can break this information, and the only thing we need to do, if we create a moves, and we'll change that to a name integer, we're going to grab that and we're going to add to that, and we're going to do that, and we're going to add that move name in there like so. And then from the possible moves, if we do a get the possible moves, we're going to remove that index from the array, and it's going to be that last index. So we can take this and bring it all the way across and plug that in like so. So just to explain what's happening is we are basically checking to see if this Pokemon can know that move. So for Bulbasaur, it would be like Tackle and Growl at this point. So we add those levels into there, so we know what levels we need. We get the keys, and we run through a for each loop 4 times, because we only want 4 moves. And out of all of those possible moves, we always make sure we get the last index, and we get it from here. So from the keys. So if it learns Vine Whip at level 7 and it's in this index, that level will be the last index. So it'll learn Vine Whip first before it ever learns Growl or Tackle. So we're always getting the most latest moves we possibly can. And then what we're doing is we're getting the names of those moves and adding it to a move index for names. And all we have left to do is we get that Ringmon info. We set members. And off the completed, we can plug that into here. We can bring that a bit closer. And all we need to do now is set the move slots. And the move slots come from that move system here. And then we can set that Ringmon info here and plug that in there. Okay. Compile, and that should be the move sets done. We have 2 more we need to set up today, and it's going to be pretty tight whether we're going to finish today. I'm sure we will. We need to set the name, and we also need to add the Ringmon to the party. So let's do the add Ringmon to party first. So now that we've got all of our Ringmon information set at this point, we need to cast to the 3rd person character, get player controller, compile that. We need to get trainer Pokemon. We need to break that trainer information. And then we need to run that trainer party through a for each loop. And we click onto that. Compile. Why is it freaking out? Play. Oh, need to get player character. Sorry, not the controller. There we go. That's better. We need to break. And then what we're checking for is if this is equal to nothing. We can put that in a branch and plug that in, and we should be good. We then need to set an array element of this trainer party. So set array element. So if that comes back true, which it should do, we can set the array element to whatever this is going to be. And bring that down so you can see the flow. The array index is going to be whatever this array index is, so we can make this go around as well. Keep it all nice and neat. And then finally, we can put the Pokemon info into there. So all that Pokemon info we just set for all those functions should all be correct in this Pokemon information now, and should show up and set the array to that index. And the first index it's going to find is 0, which is our first Pokemon slot. And then once we found that, we can break. Yeah, that's a good point. I put the wrong for each loop. For each loop with break. That's a rookie mistake from me there. There we go. Plug that in there. Take that, plug that in there, and take that, plug that in there. And then take that, plug that in there, and we should be good to delete that. We can bring that back down like so. And now we can plug that into the break to loop that around. There we go. And then off the completed, once that's done, we can just return node so it can move on with the code like so. Brilliant. Complete that, and that should be your accept done. And then it's just setting the name, which is our final function, and we're going to do a branch. And what we're checking is if that name text box that we set up, we're going to convert, get text, sorry, get the text of that. We're then going to convert to string, and we're just going to check to see is empty. And if it is empty, we will just basically set the name to, so we'll get that party info, set members like so. And we're going to do basically something like we did with the other IV, which is we're going to set that name to both this and this, like so. Right. And then we just set that Oh, no. Set that one here as well, like so. And that's that done. Finally, we need to basically do the same thing down here. The only difference is we won't be using it for the name for both. We'll basically use this to set the given name. And we can then just put the Pokemon name back into there to set that to Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or whatever it's going to be. And that's setting up the name in a nutshell. I'm going to make it a little bit, there you go, that looks a bit better. Compile that, and that should be good to go. Okay, so I just had a crash, and I had to redo a lot of stuff. So, fingers crossed, it's all back to normal now. I'm just double checking. All that's looking good. Okay, so at this point now, you should, in theory, have a working accept starter Pokemon code. The only thing we now need to do is set up all the information for the starters, which we'll do in the next episode, and then we can be able to test everything. And hopefully, we should have a Pokemon in our team. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hopefully, you found this useful. In the next episode, as I say, we'll go through the starter Pokemon and set their information up to how it is online on the Pokedex. And hopefully you guys will be able to start selecting a Pokemon. But if not, we'll bug fix and we'll fix all those issues as we go. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you again to all the people who are watching this as members right now. And thank you so much to all those who are watching this down the line. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's free to do. And it really helps the channel out. But thank you so much, guys. Take care. Much love. Bye.